Hi everyone, welcome to Jodi Dancers Talks, and today we're here with Amrit to talk about mental health.
Hi.
Hi Amrit. So, don't know what I said to the camera, but hello. Hi Amrit. So, I know Amrit from work. We've been friends for a couple of years. Yeah, it's been a couple of years. So basically, I want to speak to you about your experience with mental health to start off with.
Yeah.
So, we're starting off with your first experiences with mental health. How did you recognise that you had mental health problems?
Okay, I guess you just notice changes in your day and changes in yourself. So normally I was just pretty happy, in myself. And then what you find, I think one of the first things I found is I was getting really irritated with stuff really quickly. Just snapping or just getting really annoyed about something. I think in general you get a bit more sensitive about stuff. And the sensitivity can be either, for me it was just like getting angry at things or getting upset, totally just upset about stuff. So you just find yourself crying, you don't really know why, and that's the thing with being depressed, is that when you don't know, it's even worse, and you just think about it, and there's this like vicious circle where you think, why do I feel this way? I'm annoyed about feeling this way, what the hell is wrong with me? And it makes you feel worse and worse. Other things, I just guess that I couldn't feel happy. No matter what I did, I didn't feel like I could enjoy myself. And even if I went out with people, with my friends and stuff, I just felt like in the back of my mind, I still didn't feel right.
So you said you didn't feel happy in social settings, etc. We had a little chat off camera, and you were saying something about forcing yourself to do certain things. Why is it important for someone with mental health problems to force themselves?
You've got to gain momentum, and with momentum I mean that when you are depressed you end up just putting the brakes on everything and you don't do anything that interests you anymore. Making yourself do things that you enjoy, so you end up even thinking about, what the hell do I even enjoy, what do I even like? But you know what those things are, so it could have been like going out, going to see friends, that's important, or going out and just doing some sport or something like that. So I did like badminton for a bit, that was really good, and I got to see my friends and stuff like that. And it's forcing yourself to do it gains that momentum, otherwise you just stay in that kind of mental kind of sludge. You just sit there and you're just kind of rotting there, and you don't even get to see or do things that make you feel good. So doing little bits will add up to something greater, and eventually you'll get back on track to where you wanted to be. So it is forcing yourself. When I went to therapy, the therapist made me plan every week things that I enjoy doing for myself, and things that will help grow you as a person. Not, I could be stuck just doing work all the time, work, and, being a teacher or whatever, you could just mark and plan forever and ever and ever, and it doesn't really stop. It's kind of an endless to-do list. So you're not allowing yourself to be you or doing things you enjoy, and forcing yourself, planning it in. I had to do it. It's almost like my homework for every week.
And speaking of that getting on track, so with mental health, I'm guessing it's not like a straight road. You're getting your dips and troughs and turns and bends when you're on your journey of getting from A to B.
Yeah, well, that reminds me of how I did feel. I always just think that most of the time I feel downwards, and very rarely do I go up, but then you just go straight back down. Whereas that fixing yourself, there's going to be ups and downs, and what you're trying to look for is either, at that time you just think, God, I wish I was just neutral. I'd rather just not feel anything like that, because if I go up I'm definitely going to go down, and if I go down I'm probably going to be there for ages. So at that time you're like, I just want to be neutral. But that process, that momentum of fixing yourself and making yourself feel like your normal self, means that you are going to go upwards, and you are going to feel better, and you're able to maintain staying in that position rather than going downwards. So I don't know if I've just rambled there, going on and on.
There's something interesting you said when you said, I'd rather not feel.
Yeah, that was true. I did have that feeling where I was so upset and so frustrated about feeling down all the time that when I did get happy, my feeling was, I'm just going to go back down again.
How did you go about seeking help?
For a while, I put it off. For a while, and then I went to see a doctor, when I went to see the doctor, they said things like, make sure you've got an exercise routine, you know, make sure you're planning things to make sure yourself, you know, you can actually be like yourself. And they also suggested medication, and I was totally against it first. I was just like, no way, I'm going to do this myself.
Yeah. Why was you against medication?
I was against it because I was like, no, I can do this myself. There's absolutely no way. This is for really ill people. That was my naive opinion then. Like, there's absolutely no way I need that. I'm not in that position. Even though I've already got to that stage. So it took me about a year to even go to the doctor. Get the courage to go to the doctor and say, this is how I'm feeling and I'm not right. I don't feel right. Even then I was like, no way, no way, no way. So 6 months pass, I do running, even though I only do it for like 6 weeks at a time before I get bored. Get on fit again and then get fit again. And I didn't want to go to the gym because I was too anxious. I was like, oh no, people are going to be like seeing me and stuff like that, so I don't want to get them to see me or give them any opportunity for me to be seen like outside. I was so anxious, like I didn't really want to go out and do anything or anything like that. So to do it on my own, I did running by myself. So I just go to like Worley Woods or whatever and run around there. But like I said, in that 6 months, so I did that sort of thing. I did some reading, I tried, and I did stuff like, you know, like adult colouring and all that stuff. Like, do go and colour a flower. That's going to make you feel better. But it does distract you for a bit, but it doesn't help me overall. For some people it does, and that's the thing with this sort of thing, is that you don't know what helps.
It's not one fit.
It doesn't, no, it's not one fit. But like I said, 6 months passed and I still needed that help. I still need that extra bit of doing, you know, after doing running and trying artwork and reading and, you know, reading about well-being and things like that. But I just needed that extra help, so I gave in. And I say I gave in, it's, looking back on that now, I don't think that's the right word, I guess. But at the time I felt like, oh, that's it. I need to have medication. And it did help, it really did. I had some anxiety medication. It did go up, so my dosage went up because I felt like it wasn't helping, it wasn't working. But I think if anyone is watching and they think that, oh, no way, is it going to work? It takes a while. You have to have patience. And sometimes that medication isn't the right one for you. That it did help, and it helped me to get to work in the morning, and it helped me to carry out my normal activities because it stopped me feeling so anxious. You know, if I was too anxious or whatever, I would have a panic attack and I wouldn't be able to get myself ready for work, because that feeling that you have is, I am not ready for this day. And you kind of want the day to end already. But it helped me to just get on with my day and realise that actually there's a few positives in there that are worth it, that are totally worth it.
You said something about giving in. Using that term, giving in, how long did it take you then to firstly go to the doctors? Because I know for a lot of people that's a big step, admitting the fact that I have a problem, I actually need help right now. If I look back, I think that I've definitely had rounds of this before in my life, even as a teenager. I think probably at college, where I felt like I've had these rounds where I just think I feel awful and I just want to cry, and then you're fine again. I think, I don't know, maybe it's a little different when you were a kid, but when I think the courage took me about a year of feeling really bad. About a year of feeling really bad before I went to the doctors. And I wish I didn't wait that long. That's 6 months even to even have the medication. I wish I didn't wait that long. What a waste of time. You want to get this done. You want to get started on it, but you put it away thinking it'll pass.
So before you went to the doctors, did you try to speak to your family about this?
Yeah, I did, and unfortunately I think if anyone's watching this, I bet they've had the same experience of people saying, oh, you'll be fine, you'll be fine tomorrow, you'll be fine next week. Or that question of, so what is wrong with you? Why do you feel that way? And it's not, you can't just pick out one thing. You don't know why you feel that way, and that's the worst bit of it, is that you keep thinking about, oh, why do I feel like this? And you get frustrated about it, and that makes it that rubbish kind of circle of frustration. Why the hell do I feel this way? What is wrong with me? Oh God, I feel worse now. And then you do that same questioning again, and it's just the worst thing. With family, they said sort of things like, what's wrong? It's only temporary. Or in one case, I had like what are you depressed about?
Right.
Because that person was depressed as well.
Yeah.
What can you be depressed about? And I think depression is a huge scale of things. It's not a competition. That's the worst.
Yeah.
It's not a competition. It's like when people say they're tired and went, oh no, I'm more tired than you. What have you done? Whereas this was like, well, what are you depressed about? I feel like this or whatever. You know, I bet you're fine.
Yeah.
You're just playing with it. You're just acting it, and that's an awful thing to say.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to feel that way. Why on earth would anyone want to act this out?
Yeah.
For a long term as well. Like, so that was the kind of things that I was met with. I was much more kind of welcomed and, you know, had a kind of better ears for listening with friends and people of our generation, I guess, than your parents or your grandparents and things like that.
And do you think that's because the older generation or people within our community don't understand it as much? True,
I think that they haven't been educated in that sort of thing. We have more of awareness, we're more able to speak about it. But I think one of the biggest things is that they face is the shame of it, or what will somebody else's family think, or what will someone else think, what did that person, what does the neighbour think, like, oh my god, they'll think what's going on with that family, how dodgy they are, or whatever. And they are so stuck onto this feeling of shame.
Yes.
And I think that's with Asian communities. This shame is a massive thing. So many decisions are led by shame. Or led by what will somebody else think, and not what is going to help the person you love or the person that's in your family, or what's going to help yourself even. So in that year or so where I put it off because of that. Yeah. Because I thought, what will they think? And what kind of response am I going to get?
So you said shame was a big reason as to why you didn't seek help or tell someone about what you're feeling, how you're feeling. In terms of South Asian communities in particular, how would you advise people that are going through something similar to you, that probably could watch this video and think, I feel like that, I don't feel like I want to feel? What advice could you give to them in terms of, it's a difficult topic, it's a difficult situation, what would you suggest they do?
I think number one, you have to accept that it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
You have to accept that. It will not be easy telling them, because if it was easy you wouldn't be feeling that way about it. I would say another thing is to go and probably speak to people like your friends or people of your generation, maybe your brothers, sisters, cousins, whatever, because we're a lot more understanding. Most of us are much more understanding. We've been educated in this stuff. We understand that this is a normal thing that happens, and that, you know, it's probably more common than people think. If you do not have anybody though, and I can feel for someone that does not have anybody, you can go to the doctor and talk about this, and you can do things like talking therapy to get things off your chest.
In terms of mental health, everyone has it. We all either suffer from it or it's positive, but not necessarily negative, but you suffer from it. You said talking therapy. How important is it just to sometimes just talk with no judgment? Like even in an environment like this, just to talk, let it off your chest. How much better does that make you feel?
I think it's a vital part of the healing process to be able to have an outlet and to talk to somebody about it. And what it means is that someone can then empathise with you. They can see, okay, I can see what this person is feeling, but maybe that they can help. Even if they can't help, at least you've got it off your chest. It's still there. It's still there. You've still got that cloud over you. That's what it felt like for me. It's like a rain cloud over you all the time. But if you can talk about it, sometimes you solve your own problems just by speaking out loud. Sometimes when you're trying to think of something, you're trying to get an answer for it, just actually saying it out loud to somebody helps you figure it out. And that's really helpful. There's different types of talking therapy, so obviously you can talk to your friends and family, which is the one that's most in reach for people. Or you can go through things like Birmingham Healthy Minds, or there's other kind of support groups out there as well. That was recommended to me by my doctor. And there is somebody, you know, there's obviously other organisations like Mind and things like that that do that.
So I know a lot of people use music as an escape. What would you say about music to help with mental health?
Absolutely. Music was a big one, and music, I feel like it can be like a timeline in your life. At one point I was listening to this, and then I was listening to this, and I was listening to this. And that can be a really good thing. just a nice thing to look back on. Whereas music for me as well also gives me a distraction. So on those days where I don't want to be in my own head because I feel bad, music lets you forget about that, and it can cure that for a bit, you know. And those days, so like on the way to work, listening to music or whatever, listening to music is great on the way to work. I mean, if I sat there quietly on the way to work just listening to music, I'm going to be thinking about what do I need to do as soon as I get in. Oh God, I've got 10 other things to do when I get home, and I've got to do this, that and the other as well. But in the morning, just to distract myself and to make sure that I'm only thinking about, you know, good stuff, happy stuff, is that I'll just start singing on the way into work.
So we just talked about the importance of talking, especially when you're suffering with depression, anxiety, etc. You can talk to your friends, family, loved ones, your GP if you need to, if you've got no one around you. And we just want to stress the importance of please talk. Don't suffer in silence. Thanks for watching.